We're going to start over in Region 2 with the Chooseville Lions Club. Our first guest has actually been a multiple time treasurer. Lion Logus, tell us about membership a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Good evening, everyone. My name is Logan Doherty, and I'm currently the treasurer of Chooseville Lions Club. I've been the club treasurer for about 5 years. A little bit about myself. I am a husband to my lovely wife, Amanda, and we have two beautiful and intelligent girls, Rebecca, who is 2.5, and Jensen, who is 9 months old today. Professionally, I work at Morgan Stanley, where my division supports the trading desk by reporting their traders' profit and loss back to them. And I'm in a projects role where I exclusively build out and renovate financial reports using mainly Excel and VBA. I'm considered an Excel nerd, even to people who are in Excel all day. I love it so much, which is one of the things that drew me into being a treasurer in the first place. I knew that I could use my expertise in Excel to automate our club's billing and record keeping. Another big reason is that Amanda's grandparents, Sharon and Och, had this wild idea of restarting a defunct club and needed a numbers guy to be treasurer. And you never say no to your wife, especially your wife's grandparents. So I happily obliged. And up to that point, I hadn't really been a part of any service organizations prior to joining Lions Club, apart from helping out at local animal shelters from time to time. But I love being a member of Chooseville Lions Club because I love feeling like I'm making a difference. And I love that we support so many causes that are near and dear to my heart. Since I've joined, we've donated $2,500 to District 22W mobile screening unit, $1,500 to Lions Vision Research Foundation, $1,000 to diabetes research, and close to $1,000 to our local food bank, Tabitha's Table, and a dozen more great causes. But my favorite service event had to be the one time that we were able to pull off a bingo. We had an amazing turnout. We were able to raise almost $3,000 from just that one event. We've also had huge success selling Vidalia onions. Over the past 2 years, we've raised $5,000 from just that, selling onions. And I believe that our numbers will continue to grow as we grow our contact list and we become more efficient transporting the onions. And we have a very healthy admin account, primarily due to the fact that we instituted a birthday auction where if it's a member's birthday month, they buy a gift worth about $20 and they bring it to the meeting wrapped and give clues as to what it might be, and other members bid on it, where all the money goes into the admin account. And since implementing this a few years ago, we've made almost $1,000 from it. So our club loves to help out, and recently many of our members volunteered at Sleep in Heavenly Peace, a local organization that builds beds so no child sleeps on the floor. Our club loves helping the Salvation Army. If you're in Hagerstown, in the Hagerstown area, and you hear the patented ringing of bells, there's a good chance it's someone from our club who stepped up to help out. And while I have many friends who might be interested in joining Lions Club, basically all my friends live too far to join Chooseville Lions Club, although I continue to push them to join their local chapters. But the future is bright for our club. We're averaging about 4 new members a year, which is great for our community, and also for our admin account. So thank you.
Thanks a lot, Lion Logan. We're going to go from Region 2 over to Region 1. Our next guest, I met dipping ice cream at the Allegheny County Fair. She was with some volunteers, and I told them to sign her up. A couple months later, she was a member and quickly became first vice president of the club. And she recently attended the Lions Leadership Institute down at Camp Merrick. Lion Savannah, talk to us a little bit about your Lions Club, the Mason-Dixon Club.
Well, our Mason-Dixon Lions Club is actually sponsored by our local LaVale Club, and I am a third generation. My grandfather-in-law was actually a founding member. I met the Lions and knew what they were about through my mother-in-law and my grandfather-in-law, as Jeremy said, helping out at ice cream dippings or community outreach events. But for me, the causes that are most important to me are anything involving children. You could find me in a classroom volunteering to work one-on-one with a struggling student, or working during the summer with AmeriCorps and their reading program, or offering tutoring services, or helping out at a kindergarten registration for my home county, where we provided speech and vision screenings, or talking about higher education opportunities as a student ambassador, or a Cub mom, a den mom with my son's Cub Scout troop, or working with our Sunday school children and adults to work on community outreach projects, like packing backpacks of hygiene supplies and a comfort item for children for CASA, which works with the children in the foster care system. One of my favorite service event was helping out at Lions Camp Merrick during a grounds cleanup. We worked on cleaning up the sports barn, the art studio, and just general grounds cleaning. While I was there, some of the topics that we learned were about working in teams, using your club members' diversity, managing your time, local issues and opportunities, member motivation, personal mission statements, public speaking, Lions fundamentals, and goal setting. But perhaps some of my most favorites have been the community outreach events and our bingos, where we've partnered with the fire department and our local Masonic Lodge or the food bank to provide services for our area community.
Thanks a lot, Lion Savannah. We're going to go over to Region 3 now in the FSK Lions. Lion Gary, tell us a little bit about what you've been doing in terms of membership and your community outreach article.
Hello, my name is Gary Bennett. I'm a member of the Francis Scott Key Lions Club of Frederick. In my club, I have a couple of roles. I'm the LCIF chair, and I'm the marketing and outreach chair. I joined up with Lions right after I retired to get involved in the community and to help people. I figured I could be more effective at helping people if I partnered with others who are already doing that, and I was right. My favorite activity is something I created called Canines on the Creek. It's a fundraiser for Leader Dogs for the Blind that features a doggy and owner parade and Halloween costume contest, and was held right on our Carroll Creek in downtown Frederick. We've done it for 3 years now, and it's really growing. We hope to make it an annual event that Frederick is known for. Frederick is really a dog-loving city, as you might know. It's a great fundraiser. It made about $2,300 for Canines on the Creek, for Leader Dogs for the Blind. But more than that, it was really an event that brought the whole community together out on the creek and really shone a bright light on what the Lions can do. I'm here tonight to briefly talk about my experience with community outreach. Community outreach can take many forms: in-person events like Canines on the Creek that I mentioned, partnering with other organizations, Facebook and other social media posts, and online and print articles written for your local media. As the marketing and communications chair, it's my job to do two things. I want to shine a bright light on our services. I try to let the community know when we participate in a service project or a fundraising event and who it helps. This lets the community understand who we are, what we do, and why they should join us. I also promote our membership events, especially when we have speakers. Community members can come and hear a good speaker, have a good meal, and see what the Lions are all about. And now my advice for community outreach. At service events and fundraising events and even membership meetings, take lots of pictures and be sure to write up a brief recap of what was done and who it helped. Use the old journalism outline that we all know about: who, what, where, why, and when. if you capture all that with a little blurb, a good picture, you'll be well on your way to getting the exposure you want. For me, I focus on our local newspaper, the Frederick News Post. I'm a bit of a writer anyway. I've done a few non-Lions articles, writing things like biking and hiking. I even did an article on the top playgrounds in the Frederick area. So I have a kind of a leg up because I know some of the editors there, but you can get to know the editors too. All it takes is a little tenacity and a little follow-up, and you'll be able to get your articles in the paper too. The really not so secret is that your local paper needs content. Almost all have a community page or a neighbor's page, and it's really tenacity and follow-up that gets you in there. And don't think that you can't get in the newspaper, because you can. Just keep in mind that other community organizations like us won't even take the time to write up about what they're doing. So you have a leg up right away. Along with the community pages, my hometown newspaper has 2 inserts that lend themselves to Lions activities, and I'll bet yours does too. One is called 72 Hours, and one is called Prime Time. 72 Hours is focused on fun things to do in Frederick over the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday usually, and really lends itself well for fundraisers and community service events. Even if you can't get an article in there, you can certainly get it into their events calendar. Most newspapers have an online form on their websites that you can fill out to make your event known. It will appear in print and online. And don't forget, young people especially will search online for fun things to do. The other insert, as I mentioned, is called Prime Time, and it really is geared toward the over 50 crowd, really the sweet spot for the Lions. The editors are always receptive to story ideas featuring interesting events for seniors and profiles of interesting seniors. These are 2 examples of opportunities to reach the community in my local paper, but you can be sure your local paper has similar sections and inserts and special editions. Scroll around the online version of your local newspaper to find opportunities, or call and ask to speak with a community or events editor. Newspapers want to be seen as good neighbors. Using this strategy, I've been successful in placing articles in our newspaper for Canons on the Creek that I mentioned earlier, our medical equipment lending program, and a great article on Lions celebrating their centennial anniversary in Maryland. I don't have the time tonight, but don't forget about Facebook and your local radio station. Radio stations in particular have to serve the community to get free use of our public airwaves. At my local station, we struck a deal where they promoted our event on air in exchange for them being a co-sponsor of the event. All we had to do was hang their signs around the event, and it was really a win-win for both of us. With Facebook, you should regularly post photos and blurbs about all your events. This is a great job for newer, younger members. Now, you may not think that many people will see your posts, but don't forget, you can boost your post by paying a nominal fee to Facebook. That means that people in your area who fit this criteria that you wish will see your posts. And Facebook will walk you through that on their online pages, and it's really easy to do and quite effective, really. So that's my talk on community outreach tonight. Wishing you good luck in making all your events known to the public.
One of my club members who I brought in 16 months ago is contemplating joining a second club in order to make a difference to help them regroup. I've invited Lion Ryan to come talk about some possible ways that we can help a neighboring club within Carroll County.
Thank you, Jeremy. You guys, I'm Ryan. I'm currently Greater Carroll Club's president, and we're in Westminster, Maryland. And I wanted to show my children that this is a great thing. And both of them did Lions events. My daughter, she's doing projects, help earn community service hours. And my son did some events and decided to join and become a Lion. The third thing that got me involved is basically my past community service. In college, I was a member of Pi Kappa Phi fraternity. We were very active in the community, did a lot of philanthropy stuff. I held positions in the community, including president. And when I graduated and moved on, kind of left an empty spot in me. So Lions Club basically filled that spot, provided me what I've been missing from fraternity life. The great thing is Pi Kappa Phi's philanthropy and Lions Club causes were extremely close. Pi Kappa Phi is helping people with disabilities. Of course, Lions with the blind and the deaf. So made me kind of feel right at home and knowing what to do here. Lions Club has accelerated that even more with seeing the Leader Dog program and the stuff they can do. It's really just amazing and blows my mind. Teaching people to navigate with no help, be able to get around town. People are blind. That's just amazing that people can do that. My favorite service events so far with the club are crab sales. As for bringing people into the club, I do have a few friends I'd like to bring in. I'm big, I'm not a pushy guy. Basically, I think if you push somebody to join a club, they're not going to be a good member. So basically, all you're doing is pushing them away or just having somebody to collect dues from. If they choose to be a Lion, then they're going to be a great one. They're going to basically give everything they have and be everything we want them to be. The youth really is the future of the Lions. My son, who I said joined the Lions, he's brought one of his friends into the club, and they're starting to bring some of their friends into the club. We've been pushing, not really pushing, but we've been asking them to kind of see some friends they want so we can get more youth in our club. For me to join a second club, which is literally, I can see the church that they meet in from my house. And we're still working on doing that. It happens that I'm close to the region chair, next region chair guy, and the global membership chair, Evan, and his wife have also just moved into our town. I am thinking about joining or working on figuring out they're below 10 members and they still run a park and have 3 big community projects. So that's a lot for 10 members. Me and Jeremy have talked about getting our yearbook out, kind of seeing who's still in the area and what we can do. And basically, there's a new community center that's opening up down the street. I assume that the Lions Club in my area is going to move there for meetings. But I think that's going to be a good way that we can try to get some members in the area where I live. We're going to check in with some local businesses, some churches, basically try to get some members that way.
Next line, Ryan. Someone with experience as we head back over to Region 1, Lion Bridget, former region chair, has been in the same situation where she has moved clubs to make a difference. So we're going to listen to Lion Bridget now.
Yes, my name is Bridget Karlowitz. I am the secretary and treasurer of Loniconi Lions Club and the guiding lion for Frostburg State University's campus club. I got involved with Lions when I was approached by a group of Lions as they were trying to build North Branch. I was actually working a fundraiser for their local fire department. And they asked me, just back to that old logo a couple years ago, just ask, and I said yes right away. And I think 2 of them dropped their fork. I was the charter membership chair for North Branch back in 2012. I transferred my membership up to rebuild Loniconi Lions Club. It is a very old club. They was getting ready to close up. They actually gave away money, all their equipment and everything. And so I transferred up, me and a couple other Lions. My favorite service project is one my new club didn't even want to do. And now it's one we are known for. I actually went to the members. I said, if this doesn't work, I will buy you a steak dinner. Well, guess what? Now it's our biggest service project. We give away brand new books to all trick-or-treaters every year for our annual trick-or-treat. We also give new books to our local library. Let's see here. Sorry, I lost my place. We give them to the local library. We give them to the Children's Hospital and the Cancer Center in Morgantown. We donate the new books to the annual toy drive at Christmas time and the local nursing homes. So we buy a big bunch of books and it goes to different projects. And, what's more than a child reading, plus now it's to where this past October, it was downpouring and everyone knows the weather in Region 1 can be bad. So it was about 30 some degrees. It was raining, it was sleeting, and we debated back and forth, even as we were setting up, if we was going to set up. Well, the first little kid came running around. Usually we sat in the parking lot, and this little 8-year-older came running around. I didn't think he would be here. He was just so happy to get a new book. You know, it's just like, you want to talk about fill your heart. It's so unbelievable. With transferring my membership, also keep in mind, if you're debating about transferring, you can be associate member at your old club or the new club. You can help out. There's different types of membership. So that's something to keep in mind. What does youth look like? Youth looks like, to me, when they come looking for you to get a new book. I mean, it's just, you know how they all are in trick or treat and getting that big candy bar or the popcorn ball, you know, but when they come running and looking for a new book and seeing who can get it, we even give them out to adult readers who are just learning to read. I mean, that's just, you wouldn't believe how bad that warms your heart. I mean, I've had several people come to say, I'm just learning how to read. We've actually helped people with the library, you know, getting in touch with how they can get a library card and use the internet there if they don't have internet at home. So that's what youth looks like to me. Plus helping out with the campus club is very rewarding. Sorry if I went on, I lost my place on my note.
Good. Thanks, Lion Bridget. All right, back with us from outside of Calgary, Alberta, Canada, in the little legendary Leo Club. Leo Lucas was a guest speaker at the USA Canada Forum with his group. He was amazing up there, so I asked him to give us a 5-minute rendition of some of the things he talked about in terms of Leo clubs. And his club is actually not based or aligned with a school. It is based on the community. Leo Lucas, take it away.
Awesome. Can you guys hear me? Okay, great. Sorry, I had some problems with my my microphone before. So, anyways, yeah, I'm very excited to be here today. Again, like Jeremy said, I met him at the USA Canada Lions Leadership Forum 2022. I was doing a presentation about Leos in the community. And it was a great experience for all of us. Again, my name is Lucas Mauchline. I'm the president of my club, the Little Legendary Leos Club. We are in Canada. We're the biggest Leos club in Alberta, Canada, and the fastest growing as well. I got just a few years ago because I was doing some sustainability stuff with the school. We had just opened a new community garden in our community. We have a very small community, and it's a town of 2,500 people, and it's a very tight-knit community. You make lots of connect talking to me, and she said that she thinks I'd be asked at the Leos Club. They think I have a great time and a really nice community. So I decided that was something that I might want to do, and that was a year ago today. And then I've had an amazing time in the Leo Club, getting to know so many young people and contributing to the community, especially a group of youth. It's been just an amazing opportunity, and I'm grateful every day that I got that opportunity. My community service in my community as a Leo is not much different than what you guys may have experienced as Lions. You know, we help out with things like the Province Fair, which is not much different from your guys' state fairs. Or we help out with, you know, we do bottle drafts and things like that to fundraise, but, you know, it's also a lot of giving back to the community. I think the service project that most of us Leos are most proud of, at least in my group, has to do with one of the LCIF objectives, which is that the lines are not to the blind, and we help the blind. Eyeglasses, repairing them. We've made multiple donations to the Canadian Blind Eyeglass Recycle Center. We make a monthly initiative to donate most or all of our proceedings every month to the Eyeglass Center, and it's just an initiative we're very proud of because like I'm sure you all know, the Lions are the Knights of the Blind, and we're very proud of that. And of course, a lot of our service events are the ones that we're able to make it out to when we go to forums and conventions. I'm very grateful. Lion Leadership Forum 2022, and I met Jeremy there, and he asked me to speak, and I was asked to speak on a presentation about Leos, and we had a great time there. Our first project there was we donated to the mustard seed. I don't know if it's if the mustard seed is operational in the United States. For free in these homeless shelters, and we did a service project during the leadership forum where we put together care packages with all this stuff in it, and we sent it all off to the mustard seed. And by the end of our service project, there must have been crates and crates of toiletries and different donations of blankets and quilts, and it was a really heartfelt and uplifting thing to see, and we were all again very grateful to be a part of that. And our club, I would say, collaborate with a lot of other local service entities, whether that be because we have a fairly large Leos club for where we live, and we're a fairly influential Leos club for where we live, and so we're always happy to help out with other Leos clubs. So we do a lot of networking with other clubs.
Thanks a lot, Lucas.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we're going to go to brief comments from PDG Evan Gillette and District Governor Naja.
Oh, well, I'll go first if that's okay, District Governor. I want to thank everybody, commend everybody on this talk about membership. Everybody really talked about understanding and knowing what the members in their club want and need, how they can feel satisfied. Member satisfaction is always a very big, important part. Remember, we're the world's largest service organization, but our mission is to empower people to serve. So getting people out to service projects is a good way to get them involved in your club and hopefully become members. But even if they don't become members, if your community is doing service, that's a great thing. So thank you for this opportunity, Jeremy.
District Governor Naja.
Excuse me, forgive my throat. I want to thank everybody. I applaud you all. Your statements have been amazing. And I do want to remind people kind of what I was taught when I was coming in. New members, when you bring a new member in, we each touch minimally 70 persons. So every member times 70, and that's just a low end of the number that can impact service to your community. But I wanted to run through one or two things that I heard you all say, which I really think you hit the nail on the head. When Logan was talking about service projects, and as we can speak to, whenever we hear from younger people, we'll ask them, how did you join? So they were either asked, like we talked about with Bridget and Savannah, they were asked to join, or they saw a service project. So then it leads us into talking about social media. Or is everybody on social media so people can see in your community what you do? So they were some of the things Logan was talking about. Also partnering with, Savannah talked about partnering with other organizations. I think that's extremely important. And offering services to areas of interest to her members. She talked about stuff that she likes to do. And that's really important. When you get members in, you want to ask them what they like to do. It's not just handing them the list of what your club's been doing. What would you like to do and try something new? Then we talked about Lions Can't Mirror, which is a whole nother piece of the puzzle, is these leadership institutes and all the resources that LCI and everybody offers everybody so that you can do your jobs and get your members and provide service to your community is out there, and it's amazing. I'm going to touch on a little bit of each one of what you said. And Gary, utilizing skills of your members, like you already have that skill, which is wonderful that you could use that in your Lions Club and in your community. Use of media. I loved how you talked about use of the media and thinking out of the box and thinking big. That's wonderful. And that's what our international president, Brian Sheen, has been talking about. We're talking about service. Think big. There's nothing we can't help you do if you want to do it. Lucas, I really have to applaud you. I have a lot of admiration for what you're doing and how you're representing the youth of your community. You talked about networking and getting involved and collaborating with your community. You are right on target. I mean, it's amazing. Ryan was invited by friends, and that's really kind of cool. His relationship with Jeremy, his friendship, and how he compared his fraternity life to what he's looking for now in his life today, how that kind of compares to giving back to his community and that feeling of fraternity or family and collaboration with others. And also, let's see, the last thing is I wanted to talk about is we all touched on quality versus quantity. One of you said that, and I don't remember which one of you it is, but it's right that you're right on. You really want, the goal is really not to, you can go out to a membership fair and get 20, 25 members sign up and, induct 25 members, and you're lucky if 2 of them are there like a year or 2 down the road. So you are really looking at the quality. So I'm very proud of all the points you guys brought up. You really nailed it. So thank you. And thank you, Jeremy, for doing this. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys.